Okay, in this demonstration, I am going to use paperback book pages to make a series or a stack of, it's going to be collage paper. So my focus, I'm not focused on making like a picture of anything. I'm trying to create either a uniform pattern or color throughout. And I'm going to show that using a variety of methods. If you get overwhelmed, you can go back and look at the video later. I'm just trying to give you a lot of different ideas. Okay, so while making these papers, I can also choose different color palettes. So it's also a way of exploring color interaction. So here I go, I'll show you. So the first and easiest is just squeeze lightly. I'm just going to draw directly from my paint tube, and I'm barely squeezing it. Okay, then the fun part is you take another page. So I'm blotting it, but I'm also creating kind of a print. It's an Andy Warhol technique, blot printing, that we've done, but I'm just doing it directly with paint here. So I'm making my dots go throughout, okay? Okay, now I could also use my palette knife to manipulate those shapes if I think, oh, those are too round. So that's good coverage, okay? Sometimes I'll put these aside. I think I will actually, and then I'll come back. I'm going to do two different ones. I'm going to do one that's got some pop going on there, and then this one I'm going to keep it calmer, okay, or more uniform in terms of the color range, okay. So I'm using that angled palette knife, which I love. I use it as kind of a drawing painting tool. Okay. If you don't really like the palette knife, I could apply paint with a brush. So I'm getting longer marks here. So again, tonight is, it's playful, it's fun. You're going to get collage material, but like this is showing me, okay, here's three colors. Here's a color interaction that I like going on. I'll keep one kind of in that range. And now I'm going to add a highly contrasting color, this vermilion, and okay, and now I'm going to use one of my favorite palette knives, a new one. It's got teeth in it. It's got little grooves. And so I don't use this for color mixing. To me, it's a pattern making tool. And I can give you the name of that at the end because it's a worthy purchase. Okay, now I'm going to blot onto, I'm starting a new book page sheet. And I just love the print that I get. I get these clear striations. Okay, so I'll put this I think that one's done, and then I'll go on to another one. And so these are also would be great and fun to make. Let's say you're working on a different painting and you have all this paint left over on your palette. There's no need to waste it. You can have a little bit of playtime and make these papers. Okay, I'm going to go for this neutral here. And I'm going to go for a bigger brush. And I have my paint on a palette off to the side, palette paper. Again, I like pulling a print from that because I got all this wonderful texture from the brush.
Are you using book pages just because it's cheap?
No. I am using book pages. Well, I do like free and I do like found because I feel like, especially old books, there's a feeling, a sense of it's got some history to it. I like the text showing through because it's a nice contrast to these, you know, bigger, bolder marks. And then you'll have a whole stack of these, especially if you do different colored ones. And then we will take this into our next piece. Things may be cut, ripped. Okay. And I know I need to move on, but I'm getting carried away here. Okay. All right, I'll go on to the next thing. So you could do you could do so many different variations. You could do all blue, all neutrals, complementary colors, black and white. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go to black right now and show you some other things you can do, because I think it's nice to have just some black patterning every once in a while going on in your work. I can get this bottle of paint open. Okay, so I'm using this El Cheapo Craft Smart liquid acrylic paint. If you don't have liquid and black, that's fine. You could ooh, see, it's old. You could do this with other liquid acrylic paint. All right. So as we go along, it's fun to collect, I'm going to call them mark making tools. This is some funny little eraser from the 99-cent store, Q-tips, bottle caps, I don't know, pencil grip thing, feathers, deodorant top. Okay, so here I go. Actually, I'm going to start with the feather. So if I use that edge, I can get a really precise line. Let's see. I've done this in a while. Oh yeah, sometimes the top surface of the feather. So as you're making these things, like as you repeat a pattern like this could be collage material. Let's say I wanted to do a rooster. Okay, that's perfect right there. We know that's feathers. We have made paint brushes, our own paint brushes or paint tools in class before. Here's a feather that I attached to a stick. And some of them I get really attached to. And so I clean this really well after I'm done because I want to reuse it. And on the stick is nice. I'm just gently tapping that. So I don't expect you to have feathers tonight, but if you're inspired and you find them, here's what you can do. I made one like this in the Monday class, if you watch the video, and it kind of looked like netting. Could be bark texture. Okay, here's my 99-cent store Lego eraser. So this could be really nice in a collage piece if I wanted to just cut a contrasting strip of that. Okay, I think you get the idea. Another bottle cap, or I guess I haven't done one yet. So I build up like a little collection of these, and then what are those clips called? Those bigger clips. I clip them together, and then it's almost like a catalog of material for me to use. Okay, I want to see what Q-tips do here. Whole bunch. Now I kind of like that. That could be like pebbly texture on a rock. Okay. So really, we all have things like this around the house that you can experiment with. I'll show you, many of you know this one. It's this cotton, you need cotton cord for this because you want it to soak up the liquid paint. And I usually put a brush, in this case I'm doing another palette knife. I hold it down and drag it through so it absorbs that paint. This takes a little practice. Some people really like it and others not so much, but so you can get from holding this down on one end straight lines, then I can go curved. I think you get the idea. Okay. And then one final thing I wanted to show you, because people were struggling with it a little bit in the last class. So if I have a stencil, or if I get, this is from a bag of potatoes, I just cut this mesh, and they were getting blobs. And I said, well, you really need, best thing to do is those cheapo makeup sponges. And then if I want to make sure this doesn't scooch around, I'd use a little bit of my blue painter's tape. Okay. And then the makeup sponge, again, you want to look at the bottom. You don't want like that. You don't want a big globber, okay? You want it on there kind of evenly. It's pretty good. And then I hold this down. I'm going to do two colors. I think that'll be interesting. So here's a way of very directly getting a pattern using mesh. different vegetable bags. Okay, that's pretty faint. You know, I'm going to go with black so you can see it. Usually it looks more dramatic. Okay. Okay, here you go. So a whole page of that, actually with the color, is not half bad. Okay, I think that's it.